Hi everyone, a massive warm welcome to today's Altcoin Bible. I've got some beauties to show you today, and I'm also going to have a quick look at the AI boom. It is absolutely flying. Why I'm going to pour a little bit of cold water on that right now, and I'll show you why on the charts. Let's crack straight in. I'm going to have a look first of all at my Wonder Watch. My computer wants to load. There we go. My Wonder Watch, which is Cardano. So super popular crypto. That is Cardano, is now starting to look okay again. It looked absolutely horrible the back end of last year, just like a lot of cryptos fell down from this descending wedge, cracked down to another new volume support, and then even cracked lower. Looked pretty bleak there, just didn't know when it was going to stop. But now we've seen a change in momentum, like we've seen with Bitcoin and most of the other cryptos in this space, starting to turn around. Eventually those bears get exhausted, and then spot buying just comes in and allows these levels above to get breached, and then we create new trends. Now, what has my attention here with Cardano? Not only has it just reclaimed this support level here, which is fantastic. So this was resistance, flip support, lovely, bounced up, retested, looks good. Now we're moving higher. This is the 200-day moving average, this purple line here. So every single candle you see on this chart, this line is showing you 200 of those candles. What is the average? So that line there is showing you where that is. And these lines, these averages, are always respected by charts, either resistance or as support, and traders and investors use them as well. So kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like a lot of indicators on these charts, which are essentially just like looking at human psychology in a way. Well, now I'm looking at Cardano here. The RSI looks to be falling away, but we're just going sideways in price, which is really nice. Looks like we're consolidating for or into a wedge, I guess, for a break. So we're just waiting for the momentum to come through from the bulls. And where I think we do see that is you can see Cardano grinding up, just constantly making those higher highs and higher lows. So just to illustrate what I mean by that, I'll just draw the line over that. So beautiful, just upwards trending structure inside a channel there. And this 200 here is uber important, because if we zoom in, we can see that it is using it, or used it as resistance on the way up, breached it, come back down, retested, bounced on top of it, broke back beneath it, hit the bottom line, bounced back above it. So this is a point of control. If Cardano can use this as support, retest it as a very strong level, then I think Cardano is a good show to move higher. Now, this level here is just interesting to me on top of the 200. I'd wait for this to come back, but your margin of error, whatever, if you're trading, if you're investing for the longer term, this seems like a very good area to look at dollar cost averaging into a position, just under 40 cents or around that 40-cent mark for Cardano. A shorter term target would be around about that 45-cent level. Now, why that is, it's because it's the next major volume support on the right-hand side here. So you'd expect a lot of sellers and traders coming here going short, which would create that resistance coming back down. It also does correspond with a bit of chop that's happening up here. But, first real big break, I think, for Cardano is around about that 43 cents. So I think that area in there is pretty sticky, but having this 0.45 area on your target, on your hit list is really important. I guess because once we break sort of these sections with not a lot of volume, it can travel very quickly to those levels. So just keep that in mind. It's still my one to watch. It's not, uber bullish. It's not uber bearish. It's just one that is showing quite a bit of promise. Also, just looking on the stock RSI, this looks to have now bottomed out and it's looking to come higher. So I think the RSI is about ready to turn up, which would indicate that the upside has momentum. So Cardano, absolutely one to watch. Now, my cherry ripe for this week is the second largest crypto by market cap out there, and it is Ethereum. I could have chosen many others for this role, but I love looking at those more tried and tested and true, and those cryptos that have a outsized impact on the market if they do move. Now, if Ethereum does, let's say, smash up through this resistance level, a lot of the ERC20 tokens, so tokens that are built on Ethereum, are going to run as well. And then I think it does give a lot more buoyancy and power to the crypto rally here, which we all want to see. Why this is really interesting to look at? Well, for me, this is consolidating into a flag, which I am looking at as a bull flag because the trend is up. So I'm expecting this to break to the upside. I do think, however, a lot of people will be thinking the same thing here. So I think we just have to be cognizant this level here looks a little bit bare, and I think we might come back down to retest some of the support if we get heavily rejected up here. But regardless, this looks really healthy to me after a strong pulse up. We're consolidating sideways but moving higher, giving the momentum oscillators time to cool off. allowing people to take their profits, but still price is really strong. There's a lot of relative strength there, which is nice. Stock RSI looks to be refueling, and it's just holding on this volume support. So maybe this move up here comes back down and then we have the bounce. I don't know. We could also break down. You have to keep that in mind, and that's where I've got this box down here. But for me, Ethereum is my cherry up this week. It has been quiet for a very, very long time. And if it breaks out, when it breaks out, it's going to be explosive. It always is. It can be quiet for a very long time. Bitcoin steals the show a lot, but Ethereum, when it does move, it is explosive, and you feel like you're terribly underweight Ethereum when it does move. And I think 2100-ish, 2100 a little bit higher, even 2000. I think that's this level 2167 is probably going to get front run. So they're in that 2000 psychological level. Why that is, it is the previous, I guess, drop in January 2022, and I can just see it there, as well as it is the middle of this huge plunge that we got here, which is generally a really strong Fibonacci level. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, a few volume supports along the way, but yeah, 2000 is probably more realistic, and you might get up to that 2167, but around just under 1600 is a really nice spot to grab Ethereum if it gets there. If not, you can look at this structure and think, all right, this is pretty good. But overall, I've been monitoring Ethereum, just loving the relative strength that we've seen from it of late. And eventually that strength will reward to the upside. So just keep that in mind. All right, we get into AI, the hot topic right now. These tokens are absolutely going bananas, all on the back of ChatGPT. We're actually putting out some content very soon on the AI trend, which everyone can watch. So just stay tuned for that. But if you have a look at the gains made here since, well, it even goes back further, just in this shorter time, let me just show you. It's made 300% just since February the 22nd. Is that? No, 2nd of February. And then if we go back to, excuse me, if we go back even further, so I wanted to show you the 30-minute just for the structure, but if we go back even further to the start of all this, and yeah, let me just zoom in, this is a bit funny. If we just go back to the start at the beginning of the year, January 6th, AGIX, which is one of the top AI and big data tokens on CoinMarketCap right now, it's up 1,300% just about, which is just phenomenal. So if you've caught it down here, you'd be incredibly happy, especially if you caught it in a little bit of size as well. But AI tokens, this appears to be the big new narrative going over the next few years. You see Microsoft and Google getting in on it as well after ChatGPT. Anything AI, big data, and crypto right now is absolutely flying. But I do want to pour a little bit of cold water on a lot of what's going on, because these charts, if you look at it, well, first of all, let me just point out what a beautiful, perfect uptrend that is. It's like a staircase, just perfect. It goes into consolidation into a pennant or a flag, and then breaks up. Pennant, flag, consolidation, break up. Pennant, flag, consolidation, break up. It is technically beautiful. But if you go up even higher onto the daily 4 hour, let's just have a look. These charts are essentially vertical. You really want to be very, very careful, getting into cryptos when they're like this, because the volatility is fantastic. The upside, as you can see, 1,300%. But does 1,300% up sound like a really good time to be getting into an investment? I don't think so. That's just, just proper risk management. You look at something like that, and unless you can guarantee that this trend is going to continue based on substance, I'm just not sure. Eventually, this trend will exhaust itself, and then we should have some pretty big pullbacks to really look at these opportunities in earnest. But right now, this chart is just exceptional to the upside, but I am getting a little bit concerned with it. If we go down to the daily, so yeah, the RSI looks to be quite high at the moment. In fact, it's the highest ever. This will start to curl over soon. The stock RSI is beginning to curl over as well. And again, the chart is vertical. You just want to be very, very careful about getting into cryptos like this. So these AGIX, I'm just highlighting, but you can look at others like GRT, like Ocean. They're all moving higher, and some look better than others, and some will have more blasts of capital coming in, but there will be a lot of people coming into this late that will think this trend is just going to continue, and go use leverage, get in really hard, but then the market will reverse. And there's a lot of people that were in these tokens way back when they were released on exchanges, which are around about the prices now, and some of them still a bit higher. As these prices begin to climb up to those price levels, which originally was released, where a lot of the investors got in years ago, they're going to recoup, or want to recoup, some of their profits, or some of their original capital, their investment that they put in then. So there's going to be additional sell pressure come onto these late. people coming in long or buying. So just be aware of that. So this will top out eventually, but what I want everyone just to be aware of is, for looking for that, you want to watch for breaks of key high low supports. I mean, this is only on the 30-minute, but I just want to illustrate here. If you just draw out this line a bit more, if you break something like this heavy structure here, and it just looks quite weak, RSI, all of that momentum is rolling over, Bitcoin's looking a bit laggy, Ethereum's looking a bit toppy. This is going to roll over to these huge volume support levels, because these are huge gaps in volume. See how quickly it ran up, because there's no buy and sell volume there. That will just run up to the next level. That is the same on the way down. We'll do exactly the same. And this here is trying to consolidate into something again. We'll see where it goes. I think it's just pulsed up again. That's wild since I last looked. Absolutely crazy. But we're going to see what it does from here. It might have another leg up. It sure could. And this trend could continue for another few days, another week or so. But just be careful. These things never last forever. And the opportunity really is to buy on the really big pullbacks, or when the hype has really removed itself from the sector. But yeah, really, really great. I wanted to show you AGIX. Look for those buying levels a lot lower, in my opinion. But if you're a higher risk investor, you can always look at it as well. Wanted to share that. Hope you've got a wonderful day, and we'll catch you again next week. Bye.